community activities that Chris and his wife Terry participate in is supporting the 5th Marine Regiment of Camp Pendleton. Today, he's going to share with us in his speech some of these activities and how he gets inspired every time he's in the presence of a Marine. Today, Chris hopes to inspire all of us in our prayers during Thanksgiving time with his message. Please join me in welcoming Chris Hahn.
Wow, big crowd. It had to be the day I get to talk. Well, thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and Keystone Club. I'll have to learn more about Keystone Club. I've missed the last couple meetings, so I really don't know what you guys are all about. I'll have to find that out. Today my talk is about rituals, and what a lot of individuals have already said in their table topics is going to hit home, I hope, with what I have to tell you today. So I want you to just think for a second, what pops in your mind when you hear the word ritual? Just think about the first thing that comes to your mind and then just hold that thought, because today I want to share with you a story about how the meaning of that word has changed for me. I'm going to start the story. It was late spring 2008. My wife Terry is director for the 5th Marine Support Group for the city of Dana Point. And they were running a car wash down at a church off of Crown Valley Parkway. And the purpose of the car wash is to raise money for this 5th Marine Support Group. Let me diverse for a second. The 5th Marine Support Group is the most highly decorated and has received more medals than any other regiment in the entire Marine Corps. These are the guys that are boots on the ground. They're the guys who are getting killed. I can see that I get emotional about a lot of this, so bear with me. So let's just get back to the car wash. So this money goes towards goodie boxes. Some of you know about goodie boxes that we gather up anything from baby wipes, Q-tips, whatever, razor blades, and send them off to Afghanistan and Iraq for the soldiers. Another thing is to assist grieving families of those killed in action. And also for families that are in financial problems because of the deployed military personnel. So for the past 3-4 years, my wife and I have taken in Marines at Thanksgiving time, and probably many people in here have done this as well. And you give them a place to go. Sometimes they don't have a home, they don't have a family, and you invite them into your home. You have a lot of fun meeting these guys. They tell you some funny stories. You learn about where they're from and what their aspirations are. You really have a good time meeting these guys. But as I was listening to Oliver North the other day, he reminded us that the average soldier is only 20.5 years old of our foot soldiers. Very young guys. And so I wasn't sure what I'd have in common with these guys to be hanging out with them at a car wash all day. But what actually happened was I went there. I decided to go. Thought I'd have some fun. I went there. It was a great, wonderful, beautiful day, much like yesterday, not today. And I had a lot of gratitude yesterday, Leonard. And so what actually happened was I ended up meeting this young man named Trevor Urista. He was a first lieutenant, and he worked in counterintelligence, counterterrorism intelligence. And I hung out with him all day as he was directing his men about the car wash, you know, clean this, do this. And it was just a good day. And he spent some time with me. And he told me about what he's done in the past and what his aspirations were. Well, his contract with the military was about to end in a few months. You sign contracts with the military. And so I asked him what he was going to do, and he told me that he wanted to work intelligence for the CIA. The CIA had been in touch with him, and he was waiting to take the next step. But in the meantime, he would just remain a Marine, well, for the time being. But then, oh, this is an important part. Trevor ended up being the point of contact for my wife. When the support group out of Dana Point has to do something or needs to do something for the military, they need a contact person. Trevor was that person. So over the next few months, we all became very good friends, had dinner a handful of times, met at meetings, and did a number of things. Then an opportunity came for Trevor. Trevor was offered the chance to go to Afghanistan. I swore I wasn't going to do this. So he volunteered. Give me a second. He was considered a boots on the ground soldier. And he wanted to be there. But here's where the story comes into rituals. And I apologize. Trevor it's now late October. Trevor had less than a month before he was going to return home. And he was killed by an IED. He was in the Helmand province in Afghanistan, and he died instantly. Now, he was made captain in a ceremony, made captain posthumously at a ceremony at Camp Pendleton, where he was given a 21-gun salute. This is a 17th century ritual that the military does to pay homage to a fallen warrior. This was a ritual I'd never seen before. So seeing this 21-gun salute and this ceremony was an experience I'll never forget. So moving on to easier things to talk about. Just last week, my wife and I attended the 235th Marine Corps Ball. And November 10th, 1775, a Corps of Marines was formed by a resolution of the Continental Congress. I don't know if you guys know what this is. And ever since that time, they have held a birthday celebration via a ball to commemorate those who have served as Marines. Since that time, thousands of men and women have borne the name Marine, and it's only fitting to celebrate and commemorate what they have done through their long and illustrious past. It also helps them form a brotherhood, they bond, and they form a unique unit. So we were there. But before going, I have to tell you that I had gone last year, and I asked my wife, I go, why do I have to go again this year? I went last year. She gave me two good reasons. The first one was that she's the chairman of the ball. The second one was that she brought to my mind that it was a ritual, and if we like to be part of the military and we were invited to go to this, then we should go. I understood clearly, and happy wife, happy life, you know the story. So I went, and I had an even better time this last week than the week before. So, but before I go on with this story, I'm going to have to leave a little bit out, but I want to just move you on to the rituals. And I appreciate actually what the topic is today and what the grammarian has chosen as a word, because I think it's very fitting. I want to just try to break down a ritual by definition is a set of actions performed for a symbolic purpose. And rituals, as we know, have been a part of society since the beginning of time. They help individuals identify, develop a spiritual and emotional bond, and it strengthens that bond. It makes them, and it basically gives them a purpose for that particular ritual. Today I have many friends in Afghanistan due to the guys that I've met over the last 2 years. And I can tell you that when I'm around these guys and women, I'm inspired by the respect, the poise, the dignity, the way they carry themselves. And it's really an honor to be in their presence, and it humbles me. Also, sometimes I get invited to participate in things as a civilian with the military that I shouldn't be invited to, and it's a real honor to be with these guys doing these things and be invited into their brotherhood. It's a big deal. So now I've used the Marine Corps to illustrate a couple rituals relative to something that I had never known before. But in 1 week, we're going to be sitting down for our own ritual called Thanksgiving. When you sit down, if your family is anything like mine, you're going to sit down and you're going to say a prayer before you eat. You might give thanks to anything for the food you're about to eat, to safe passage home for the guests. I want to encourage you that when you say your prayer or your thoughts, that you think about the military, the people serving for us past and present, and give gratitude for what they do for us. And lastly, I want to challenge you to get out of your comfort zone. This goes along with what Gwen was saying in her table topics, Give some thanks, show some gratitude. Get out of your comfort zone and go up to a military person and say thanks. You'll know who they are by maybe the haircut, who knows. But insignia on a hat or a t-shirt, you see them in the grocery stores, you see them everywhere. So past or present, a veteran with a hat, go up to them and just say, hey, thanks for your service. Shake their hand. Believe me, you'll put a smile on their face, they'll appreciate it, and you'll feel good about yourself for having done it later. I think you should make it a ritual. You need to thank every opportunity that you have for the military who has served on our behalf. I think it's a new ritual worth developing. Thank you.